Started things off a little too early. How's everyone doing tonight? Tonight we are continuing our playthrough of the Fate Stay Night Remastered Heaven's Feel route. Alright. Oh. There we go. Okay, there we go. Should be good now. Alright. Alright, last we left off, Shirou, Saber was swallowed up by the Shadow, and now Shirou's trying to figure out what to do now that he's technically no longer a master. And Sakura starts getting ideas on how to keep Shirou safe and out of danger, and none of them involve his volition. So we'll just keep going. This save file, I assume. Yes. February 8th. Heaven's Feel. 9. Rain. In all caps. Morning. I wake up to sunshine filtered through the paper windows and notice my neck feels weirdly sluggish. My neck feels this way because my shoulders are stiff. I probably strained my neck muscles because I fell asleep on my stomach. On the other hand, my back injuries seem a lot better. They don't hurt anymore, so they shouldn't get in the way of daily life. Oh crap, it's already past 7! Ow! I feel a sudden sting in my abdomen. The area where I was punched feels fine when I'm staying still, but sudden movements make it ache. It'll probably leave a bruise. That's gonna smart for a while. Still, it's nothing I can't put up with. The pain isn't bad enough to keep me from moving, so this injury shouldn't get in the way of daily life either. I change clothes and leave my bedroom. The smell of breakfast wafts out from the living room, so Sakura must be getting things ready for us. Morning. Sorry I overslept. Do you still need any help?
おはようございます、先輩。先輩が寝過ごすのも珍しいですね。
My bad. Feels like morning came as soon as I went to bed.
怪我をしてるんだから仕方ないですよ。ちょっと前に起こしに行ったんですけど、先輩全然起きてくれなかったですから、疲れも溜まってるんだと思います。
Wow. I don't even remember Sakura trying to wake me up. Not only are my shoulders stiff, my brain isn't fully awake, apparently. Sorry, I'm gonna go wash my face. Just hang on, I'll be right back.
いえ、先輩こそごゆっくり。今朝は私一人で準備しますから、のんびり顔を洗ってきてください。
Sakura really is upbeat today. Well, if she insists, then I shouldn't protest any further. It's fine. Okay, well, I'll take my time washing up then.
はい。今朝のお味噌汁は自信作ですから、期待しててください。
I nod and cross the living room into the hallway. Oh, wait! That was strange. I just passed by, glad to see her doing well, but still, something was off about... I hear something fall. I immediately recognize it as the sound of a person collapsing. Maybe I've gotten used to it, used to hearing it lately. Sakura! I run back to the living room. Sakura is drowsily getting up, as if she'd just fallen on the floor. Sakura! I support her unsteady body. I could feel the heat off her body just like it did before. Her ragged breathing and the sweat soaked through her shirt, soaking through her shirt are obvious symptoms of a fever.
Senpai.
She finally notices me. Sakura looked at me with unfocused eyes.
もうゆっくりって言ったのにすぐ来ちゃったんですね。待っててください。すぐ朝ごはんの支度をしますから。
Beaming at me, she untangles herself from my arms. Sakura, you... Rather than pushing herself to do it, Sakura doesn't seem to have noticed her own fever. Hold on! Don't worry about breakfast. You need to go back to your room and lie down. You have a really bad fever.
熱って私がですか？
Yeah, darn it, the fact you didn't even notice is a bad symptom. Darn it, why? Why didn't I notice it sooner? Even if I'm sad about Saber, I should have paid more attention to Sakura's condition, who's still right by me. What's wrong with me?
先輩、私本当に大丈夫です。今のはちょっと転んだだけで、別にめまいとかそういうんじゃ。
Girl, that is not what your eyes are saying. Don't be stupid. You have a really high fever. I can tell even without using a thermometer. I lead her to the guest room. I need to let Sakura rest. I'll let the school know she's out sick, making something easy to digest for breakfast and for lunch. Right. I'll ask Grandpa Fujimura to send a caretaker over.
先輩、どこに行くんですか？学校に行く前にちゃんと朝ごはんを食べないとダメですよ。
Sakura still doesn't understand what's happening. Maybe she's so excited because her fever is making her delirious. You're taking the day off. I want you to stay in your room all day. I'll let the school know. I'm going to see Fujine there anyway, so I can just tell her then.
学校を休むって私がですか？
That's right. Who else would I be talking about? I might still be hurt, but I feel fine. I don't have any reason to be absent. No, I don't have a good reason to make myself go to school either. Without Saber, it's too risky to go alone. But still, I need to be there today. I need to report what happened with Zoka and the assassins at Tosaka. I can't stay holed up here. Anyway, you need to rest, Sakura. You're always working hard, so you should rest hard too. I'll be home as soon as I take care of some business.
いえ、私本当に大丈夫です。だから朝ごはんを食べて学校に行きましょう。そうすればこんな熱すぐに良くなってくれますから。
Of course it won't, silly. You're acting crazy, Sakura.
めちゃくちゃなんかじゃないです。無茶なのは先輩の方で、私は元気だし熱なんてないし、先輩は怪我してるじゃないですか。なのに私だけ休んじゃうなんて、そんな。
Sakura!
おかしいです先輩。なんか私息苦しくて。
Sakura nearly falls to the floor, panting. Her body feels strangely heavy in my arms. Does she lack the strength to stand? Or is she collapsed because she suddenly got so heavy? Either way, she has a fever that prevents her from walking around on her own, even if she believes otherwise. Idiot. Listen, I'm making you rest at home today, no matter what. Be mad at me if you want, but if you strain yourself this much, you'll end up needing to stay home tomorrow, too.
でも先輩、私は学校に行かないと。
Sakura mumbles incoherently, her breathing unsteady. I ignore it and carry her to her bedroom. By the time we arrive, Sakura's already asleep. Or rather, she's still in a half-conscious state, her breathing labored. Just once, she firmly grabs hold of the arms I'm carrying with her. Anyway, I'll tuck her into bed. Her voice is unfocused. Her eyes are on the ceiling, not seeing me. Sakura. Her ragged breathing, her flustered cheeks, her damp shirt sticking to her stinking skin. The anguish rise and fall of her chest with each breath. Ugh. The sight is so enchanting, I turn away in a hurry. Sakura's the one suffering from a fever, so why am I acting so inappropriately? Sakura's the one suffering from a fever, so why am I acting so inappropriately? Yeah, I'd better call for a caretaker. I can't change Sakura's clothes, much less clean her body. Thankfully, her breathing stabilizes when she's in bed, so now I just need to wait for her fever to break. Once she can walk on her own, I'll take her to the hospital and get some medicine prescribed. Sakura, I'm going to call someone to come help, so get some sleep. I think you'll be comfortable with one of the caretakers from Fujine's place. She doesn't answer. Her breathing is still labored, but at least she's sleeping. Phew, you were so assertive today. Why did you want to go to school so badly? I talk out loud to myself. Sakura's asleep, so I know she won't answer. See ya, I'm off to school. I get up and head for the door. Just as I do, I hear a reply. Sakura? I turn around. Sakura's still asleep, but with a worried frown. Oh, you were just sleep-talking. I leave the guest room this time. But as I do, I hear her say something in her fever dream. On the way to school, I stop by Fujine's house and ask for a caretaker. I sometimes forget because Fujine doesn't make a big deal out of it, but the Fujimura residence is one of the most extravagant homes in our neighborhood. It isn't a company, yet there are dozens of fierce-looking men who call themselves employees. Most of them live in a separate building on the compound, but anyway, it's a huge family. They also employ an appropriate number of workers, so I can ask them to lend me a caretaker who's available. Then, I have them send over an emergency housekeeper that's helped me a number of times in the past before Sakura started coming around. Sakura's acquainted with them too, so I feel comfortable leaving her to them. And so the day passes until lunchtime. We meet up on the roof per unspoken agreement, and I tell Tosaka what happened last night. As a result,
じゃあ何？マトウゾウケンはアサシンのマスターでセイバーじゃなくエミヤ君を殺そうとしたの？
Well, yeah, isn't that kind of assassin's MO? Kill the master rather than the servant because he can't handle any of them? Tosaka suddenly gets angry at me. Yeah, what's your problem?
いきなりじゃない。聞いた限りじゃゾウケンのやつセイバーが倒されてからエミヤ君を殺そうとしたんでしょ？そんなの変よ。どう考えても手順が違う。
Tosaka leans in and glares at me, irritated. We're behind the water tower, which has become our usual meeting spot. I unconsciously back up just a few centimeters, intimidated by your spirit that feels closer to hostility.
ちょっと人の話聞いてる？エミヤ君。今の話、あなたは何とも思わなかったの？
Tosaka shoots me a glare full of irritation and loathing. Oof. Her attitude is overwhelming enough, but her being this close is making me very uneasy. I don't have any more room to back up in this tight space. I'm like a rat, human trapped in a bag. What's wrong with what I said?
優先度の問題よ。あなたと二人っきりになったのにゾウケンはあなたを殺そうとしなかった。アサシンが勝てたから良かったものの負ける可能性だってあったんだから。 造剣はセイバーのマスターであるあなたを早く倒そうとするはずでしょ。
That makes sense, but are you saying that Zoken was confident that Assassin would beat Saber?
まさかアサシンがセイバーより弱いっていうのはエミヤ君でも分かったんでしょ。ならあいつはそんな賭けはしないわよ。そうしなかったのは理由があったからでしょうね。まあ考えられるのは2つぐらいだけど。
Two? Like... Because the old man was confident? Like he knew something, like he knew something else was there to to take Saber down? And save. Zoken was confident, arrogant, like he could have killed me whenever he wanted.
そうね。他に理由があったんでしょうけど、エミヤ君を生かしていたのは造剣の余裕だったのかも。そう考えるとつけ込む隙にはなりそうだけど。とにかく造剣はセイバー自身に用があった。マスターとしてエミヤ君には生きていてほしかったんでしょうね。もう一度聞くけど、あいつ確かにもう用済みって言ったのね。
I think back to last night's events.
当坂の娘にはまだ利用価値があるがな。小僧、お前は用済みよ。
Yeah, he said you were still worth using too.
そう。そっちの方は点で予想がつかないけど、私から逃げ回ってるのはそういうわけか。会ってしまえばどちらかが死ぬしかない。けど造剣は自分も私もまだ生かしたがってるから、今は会わないように隠れてる。
Tosaka considers it for a moment. Now then, I told her what I came here to say. If there's anything else to say, it would be... Okay, well, yeah, Shirou can't do this alone because he doesn't have a servant. But he also likely wouldn't put others in danger for his own sake. But still, I think even if he did say that that's his own problem, Tosaka would insist on getting involved anyway. Let's just see how this one goes. I have to decide what I'm going to do next. I chose to keep fighting. Zoken Mato, an assassin. The Black Shadow roaming the town. Masters fighting each other over the Holy Grail. I decided to stop it all, even if I lost Saber. This is not the time to worry about appearances. I need Tosaka's help if I want to prevent any further victims. Tosaka, I've lost Saber in my command spells, so I'm not a master anymore, right?
そうね。肝心なことを忘れてた。エミヤ君はもうマスターじゃない。聖杯戦争に関わる必要はなくなって、他のマスターに狙われる危険も薄れたわ。
Right. I wanted the Grail because Saber said she needed it. Now that she's gone, I'm not interested in it anymore.
そう。それじゃあ、あなたはもう戦わない？
Tosaka's eyes are stoic. She asked me the question as a master, evenly and without letting her own emotions cloud it. It's a warning, not a question. This is my last chance. She's giving me fair warning that it isn't too late to turn back. No. But my answer was decided long ago. I'm going to remember how considerate she was for asking me. Of course I won't forfeit this war. I won't forfeit this war, even if I'm not a master. I decided I'd fight to put a stop to it.
そうなら私たちの関係も続行ってことね。お互い敵同士だけど、とりあえずあの影を倒すまで休戦状態ってことで。
Tosaka smiles suddenly. Her stoicness from a moment ago turns to friendliness, as if something nice just happened. That's fun, I guess. Sound like I'd know why. Hang on, why are we enemies? I'm not a master anymore. I have no reason to compete with you.
何言ってるのよ。サーバントとレイジュが亡くなったからってあなたがセーバーのマスターだったことに変わりはないでしょ。曲がりなりにも聖杯に選ばれたエミヤ君には最後まで聖杯を手に入れる資格がある。無力化したところで競争相手であることに変わりはないわ。
I am? Even if I don't care about getting the Holy Grail?
そんなの状況次第でしょ。もし聖杯が手に入る状況になってエミヤ君もどうしても聖杯が必要になってしまって仕方なく聖杯を使うってこともありえない話じゃないわ。無欲な人間ってのはね、無欲だからこそ自分以外のものに引きずられるんだし。
You're overthinking this, Tosaka. Even if I needed the grail, there's no way I'd get it.
だからもしもの話。けど可能性はゼロじゃないわ。だからそういうことを踏まえて敵同士だって言ってるの。マスターで亡くなった魔術師が教会に逃げ込むのだってそのためよ。サーバントを失ったからって他のマスターにとってみれば目障りな邪魔者なんだから。そのあたりエミヤ君も気をつけて行動なさい。あなたを殺したがってるのは造剣だけじゃないんだから。
I'll accept your advice. I'm not happy about still being enemies with her.
何よ難しそうな顔しちゃって。私と敵同士なんて今まで通りでしょ。なのに困ることなんてあるの？
Plenty. Because then I can't ask for help.
は？
She freezes. Tosaka stares at me like she just seen... Tosaka stares at me like she just seen a ghost.
私の力を借りるってなんで？
Because I definitely can't do this on my own. I need to defeat the other masters to stop the war, but I don't have the power to do that. I know it sounds pathetic, but I can't worry about appearances. Out of the few options I have left, I think this is the best one. So I can't be enemies with you, Tosaka. I want you to help me, not just honor our truce.
ちょっと正気？エミヤ君。
Did I make the wrong choice? I'm completely sane. I'm not strong and I might drag you down. You don't have anything to gain by teaming up with me, and I have no way to repay you. Yeah, normally there wouldn't be any reason to form an alliance.
なんだ分かってるじゃない。あなたの言う通り魔術の基本は等価交換よ。元手がないやつに物を貸すことはできないし、釣り合わない技術者に手を貸すこともできない。そんなの今までは休戦状態だったから相談に乗ってたけど、協力関係となると話は別よ。協力し合うってことは仲間ってことで、そうなったら報酬だって山分けにしなくちゃならないんだから。
Yeah, I knew that when I asked. Help me, Tosaka. I'll pay you back as long as I live.
生きてる限りってあなたね。
I know what a burden I'd be to her. But Tosaka's the most reliable person I know, and if she's the one who gets the Holy Grail, I can trust that nothing will go wrong. So she's the only one I can think of helping you win as a master. Tosaka, I'd like to hear your answer. I meet her eyes.
そんなの決まってるじゃない。マスターじゃないやつと組んでも私は。
Tosaka!
だからそんな風に言われても手助けなんてできないし、そもそも。
Tosaka!
それじゃあまるでちゃんとした契約みたいじゃない。
There it is. Tosaka makes a show of looking down.
ああ、もう分かったわよ。それじゃあ交換条件。
She shoots a hard gaze right back at me. What conditions?
交換条件は交換条件よ。これは立派な契約だもの。だから今から言うことを守れるなら考えてあげないこともないわ。
Tosaka, I've been saying this whole time that I don't have anything to pay you with.
いいから聞く。
Okay, go ahead.
よし、じゃあ一つ目、協力関係になるのはいいけど、その場合私の言うことはちゃんと守る？戦いになった時どんな指示でも文句言わない？
Alright. I need to gain her trust, so yes.
それじゃあ2つ目、私が信頼した分私を信用できる？どんなことになってもどんなひどいことになっても裏切らない？
Yes, I
そう、
can.
それじゃあエミヤ君はこれから私に絶対服従ってことでいいわけね。
Tosaka says something ominous. It sounds like a question, but clearly... I have no choice. I have a bad feeling about this, but I don't have a choice if that's your condition. I'll do what you want. I convince myself to say yes, even if it's heartbreaking. I give her my answer. Is it just me, or does Tosaka look displeased? What, Tosaka? Was that the wrong answer?
別に私としては理想的な答えだったわ。少し物足りないけどあなたがそう言うのならそうするだけ。じゃあそのままでこれからかける魔術を受け入れて、エミヤ君。
Uh-oh.
今の言葉を本物にするから。
Huh? Make my words true.
ギアスをかけるってこと。呪いとしては最上級のものだから、おいそれと人にかけられるものじゃないけどね。あなたが承諾しているなら私でもロックできるわ。
A curse of compulsion? Like a servant's command spell?
ええ、けどあそこまで多様性はないわ。せいぜい金縛りに遭うぐらいだし、あなたの命に関わる強制はできない。効果時間は聖杯戦争が終わるまで。それなら文句はないでしょ。
Sure, that's fine.
じゃあ目を閉じてしばらく動かないで。魔術回路も動かさないこと。
I obey and close my eyes.
That Reflector, meine Bilder werden geblockt. Was ist schwarz? Richtige Eubliche Punch. Die Vergeltung vor Himmel.
I think I made another wrong choice. A fire lights up my very core. Tosaka's chant for me is not just my body, but my heart, intertwining with my nerves. I hear a sound like a bottle shaking. Next to my heart, a smaller heart comes into being. The bell rings to announce the end of lunchtime. Lunch went by in a flash. Tosaka's mage crab must have had me in a trance.
はい終わり。これで契約は成立したわ。それじゃあ学校が終わったら正門で待ち合わせね。今日からしばらくエミヤ君には私の家で部活動をしてもらうから。
Club activities? At your house?
そう、手を組んだ以上あなたを一人でも戦えるように教え込まなくちゃいけないでしょ。まあエミヤ君が素人だってことはあの夜で分かってるから、連日居残ってもらうことになるけどね。
I don't mind. I'd appreciate that, actually. Are we starting today?
当たり前よ。まずエミヤ君の力量を把握して今夜からの方針を決めないといけないもの。
Okay, I'm back.
帰りはかなり遅くなるだろうけど、エミヤくんは一人暮らしだから問題ないわよね。
Huh? Oh, right. Tosaka leaves with a casual wave. A chime announces the end of lunch. Today's Friday. Classes run until the 6th period and we get out after 3. Oh man, I told Sakura I'd come home early, but I can't just cancel on Tosaka the very first day. I'm sorry to Sakura, who I'm taking care of at home, but I'll need to join Tosaka today. Well, Tosaka isn't a monster. If I explain Sakura's situation, then there's a chance she'll let me go home early just for today. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she will. I wait for Tosaka by the school gate. The sky is all gray, and it looks like it's about to rain. Not to mention this chilly wind. It's going to be a cold night if there's wind.
何？考え事？
I return to reality. Tosaka's here. Her shoulders are slightly heaving, like she ran here. I was just thinking it's gonna rain.
ああ、天気のことね。見た感じ小雨ぐらいかな。夜の巡回もあるし、あんまり降られるのも困りものだけど。
From the sound of that, Tosaka expects us to go on patrol tonight. I'd like that too, but I should check in on Sakura at home before that. About that, Tosaka.
分かってるって。仲間同士、きっかり鍛えてあげるから覚悟なさい。ちゃんとエミヤくんを一人前にしてみせるから。
With a bold declaration, Tosaka starts down the path home. Uh-oh. If you smiled at me like that, how am I supposed to say I need to go home early today? We take the long path of the hill, south of the intersection. We're coming up on the neighborhood with European houses. Tosaka's house is situated at the top of the hill, much higher than Sakura's. Wow! So this is the Tosaka mansion. How do I put it? Sakura's house is big, but this one really grabs the eye with its European feel. It also feels cold and heartless somehow. The air around the entire top of the hill feels like it rejects visitors.
どうしたの？足止めちゃって。私の家ここだけど。
Yeah, I know. I'm just a little overwhelmed.
そうね。私のところはエミヤくんの家とは違うから、魔力の気配に疎いあなたでもここの冷たさは感じ取れるってこと。
Tosaka continues walking with a bored tone.
ほら、早く来なさいよ。罠なんて仕掛けてないんだから尻込みすることないでしょ。
Tosaka beckons me in front of her front door. Hesitating isn't quite what this place makes me want to do. Rumbling, I steel myself and step through the threshold. It does feel cold, but my mind is elsewhere. She has no idea what a big deal it is for a guy to get invited over to Green Tosaka's house. She wouldn't understand even if I explained. At best, she would just laugh at me. On top of that, why are we doing this in your bedroom instead of the parlor? After showing me the parlor, Tosaka took me up to her room like it was the most natural thing.
なんでって、ここのが器具が揃ってるからだけど。今はお茶を飲むところだし、別にお茶しに来たわけじゃないでしょ。
Well, yeah, but I wish she'd remember that I'm the same. I wish she'd remember that I'm a same age member of the opposite sex.
とにかく適当に座って。性別は政治とカードで行うけど、どっちも苦手だったら今のうちに言っとくこと。
Tosaka opens a box next to her bed. It's filled with treasure straight out of an adventure movie.
紀州の目のなんか使ってもしょうがないか。あれ、政治切れてる。あ、じゃあちょっと下から 2,3 輪持ってきて。
真紅のサルビアだな。まあそこの男を判別するのにそこまでする必要はないだろうがね。
私の勝手でしょ。 で持ってきたらしばらく下で休んでて。彼とは協定を結んだんだから、いちいち護衛しなくてもいいでしょ。
そうだな。その男に君を出し抜く度胸などあるまい。私は夜に備えるとしよう。
That must have been Archer. I couldn't sense his enormous magical energy at all. Maybe it's reduced while he's in spirit form. Oh, I didn't even notice he was in the same room.
霊体になっていればそんなものよ。仮に実体化していても、この屋敷にいる限り魔力は外に漏れないわ。外部への魔力遮断なんて攻防としては初歩の初歩だから。
Huh. Does that go for the Makiri? I mean, the Matos too?
ええ。もっともあそこはもう魔力を隠す必要はないから、隠してるとしたら家から漏れる魔力じゃなく魔術師本人から漏れる魔力でしょうけど。まあどちらにせよ魔力を隠すだけならどうとでもなるってこと。本当なら学校にもアーチャーを連れて行くところだけど、今あいつ本調子じゃないから昼間は休ませてるの。
Tosaka rummages around in her treasure chest while making a troubled expression. It looks like she can't find what she's looking for. Is she actually really disorganized?
ほんと普通の傷は簡単に治療できるのに、どうしてセイバーの傷だけは治療できないのかしら。あいつなんか因縁があったとしか思えないんだけど。どうしてこう大師傅の宝石ばっかり出てくるのよ。普段は出てこないくせに。この
She literally throws herself into her search. The chest looks small, but it's apparently deep enough to swallow Tosaka whole. Ah! Anyway, there's nothing to grit my teeth for at the moment. At most, I can pray that Tosaka finds whatever she's looking for. I absently look around the room. And I see something incredible. It's a photograph. I find it on a bookshelf no higher than my waist in the corner of the room. The photo's on top, like it was forgotten there. Dust comes off when I touch it, indicating that it's been here for a while. She doesn't clean? No, of course not. She just doesn't touch this photo. Maybe Tosaka doesn't like looking at pictures from her childhood? But then she wouldn't leave this out here. It's something important that she doesn't want to touch, I guess. Still, though, people sure do change. In the picture, Tosaka is 5 or 6 years old, and she's, well, totally adorable. So her hair's always been long. Wait, huh? In the photo, Tosaka's wearing the same style she does now. But one difference catches my eye.
お待たせ。準備は整ったわ。これから少し痛い目に遭ってもらうけど気にしないで。どうしたの、エミヤくん。
Oh, Tosaka, this. I hold out the photo I found.
なんだ、昔の写真じゃない。隅っこに置いといたんだけど、それがどうかした？
Well, it's nothing really, but I hesitate to bring it up since it doesn't matter. I really don't need to ask her this, but something about it stands out to me.
おう、そっか。リボンが違うって言うんでしょ、エミヤくんは。
I nod.
そんなの当たり前じゃない。女の子だもん。髪留めなんていくらでも持ってるわ。いくらお気に入りだからって十何年も同じのつけてると思う？
Oh, that does make sense now that she mentions it. What am I getting so hung up on some ribbon for?
なんてね。そう言いたいところだけど、髪留めは特別よ。女の魔術師にとって髪は最後の切り札でしょ。縛り付けるものだって相応の魔術品なんだから、替えの代物なんてめったにないわ。
Huh. So is your ribbon some kind of magical item?
ええ、髪を留めるってことは魔力を貯めるってことだから。遠坂は魔眼持ちじゃないから、せめて髪だけでも予備魔力を蓄えておかないといけないの。で、自分の体をコントロールするんだから、髪留めは自分で作った方がいいでしょ。それ、私が最初に作ったリボンなの。 お気に入りだったんだけど、まあいろいろあって手放したわけ。さて、無駄話はここまでよ。スパッと性別を始めるから、まずはそこの椅子に座ってちょうだい。
Tosuka's magical examination ends rather quickly. She lit some incense and did something that looked like a tarot card reading. Then I answered some questions that reminded me of a personality test. According to her,
該当なし。これ以上は無駄ね。
she gives up quickly on trying to identify my magic circuits. Wow, so you can't tell? I blurt out a question.
失礼ね。エミヤくんが五大元素に関わってないってことは分かったわよ。そこから先の性別は私の専門外だから、これ以上調べるのは無駄でしょ。あとはエミヤくんが使える魔術を見せてもらって、そこから推測するだけよ。
So she says. Next, I practiced my strengthening magecraft on a clay lump that Tosuka gave me. Clay is a lump of ether and always returns to being a lump no matter what you do to it, so it's very conductive to magical energy. I was a little worried it might get stuck once I strengthened it, but
死肉みたいなものだから気にしないで。よっぽど強い魔力でくくっても1日で復元しちゃう材質だから。
so she said. By the way, she said a shiniku is a lump of meat that never gets any smaller no matter how much of it you eat. It's called a Shirou in Chinese mythology. Anyway, I tried strengthening the lump of clay. I didn't want to fail in front of her, but I only managed to pull it off twice in 10 attempts. It even took me much longer to manifest my magic circuit than I did when Saber was still around. While I practiced strengthening, Tosuka asked me questions such as whether I came up with my own incantation, whether I used magecraft other than strengthening, how I was trained, what I formed mental images of most easily, and so on. And Tosuka's face darkened until she eventually stopped saying anything. I don't know what I did to upset her, but having her make that face so close to mine was very uncomfortable. Tosuka, maybe this is a stupid question, but are you regretting teaming up with me because of how inexperienced I am? I asked her about her most likely concern.
後悔はしてるけど、未熟って言ってもあなたの場合は教え方が間違えられていたっていうか、よくもそんなやり方で今まで命があったっていうか。
Tosuka muses aloud. Earth to Tosuka, I don't follow. Why are you glaring at me like that?
いいわ。とにかく根本から直さないとダメみたいね。それとさっきの話だけど、エミヤくんの工房には投影したものがまだ残ってるって本当？
Yeah, they stay as long as you don't break them, don't they? She asked me that earlier when I mentioned trying projection during breaks when strengthening wasn't going well. Tosuka pressed me hard for details about that and, just once, asked me to project something using the clay lump. She asked me to make an earthenware pot. It went well until about halfway, then it failed.
とりあえずエミヤくんにはスイッチのオンオフを仕込んであげる。実際に体内にスイッチを作った方が手っ取り早いから、今夜はうちに泊まっていきなさい。荒療治になるから一晩寝込むことになるし。
Wait, sleep over? Here?
何よその顔。安心なさい。別にメス入れるってわけじゃなくて、ちょっと薬を飲んでもらうだけだから。まあ効果が強すぎるんでしばらくは動けなくなるけどね。
Oh, I wasn't worried about the procedure. I look at the clock. It's already past 5 o'clock. I didn't notice because of the cloudy weather, but it's already evening. Tosuka's looking out for me both as an ally and a mage. I'm worried about Sakura, but it shouldn't be a problem to leave her for a day with the caretaker around. Tosuka's cooperating with me, so I should prioritize this.
ちょっと何そんな辛そうな顔してるのよ。 荒療治は嫌じゃないんでしょ？なら観念して私の手術を受けなさい。
Yeah, I'll do it. Just checking, but this will only take one day, right? It wouldn't be a problem if I can't move. It wouldn't be a problem if I can't move tomorrow.
そうね。ぶっちゃけその可能性は否定できないわ。開いてみるまではわからないって言うし、エミヤくんの体がもういじれないぐらい成長してたら長くかかるし、手術そのものが失敗する可能性だってあるし。まあそのあたりは運ね。エミヤくん、最近の運勢はどう？
Not great. Bad. As for what exactly is bad about it, the worst part is that there's someone smiling and asking that question while she has my destiny in a chokehold. Hold on. That would be really bad. I need to go home tomorrow.
え？うちってエミヤくんの家？
Yeah, Sakura has a cold, so I need to look after her. If I'm going to be staying over here a few nights, then I can't rest easy unless I check in on her beforehand.
忘れてた。
She's fed up with me. Tosuka looks at me in surprise and exclaims,
バカ、もっと早く言ってくれたらここまで引き止めなかったのに。
It's my turn to be
スイッ
surprised.
チの話は後。そんなのあんたの家でもできるんだから。
Huh? She storms across the room to the coat rack and dons her coat.
行くわよ。うちでやることは済ませたし、あとはエミヤくんの家でもできるわ。さくらの看病が終わったら続きをするから、急いで戻りましょう。
Yeah, I appreciate that.
それと思い出すのも尺だから今のうちに教えといてあげる。あなたの本文は教科じゃなくて投影よ。どこでどう間違えて何をどう勘違いしているかは知らないけど、あなたは本来作る側に属する魔術師なんだから。
Tosuka walks briskly down the hallway. I'm a little confused, but I follow her, and we depart the historic Tosuka mansion. Interlude 9-1 Heaven's Feel. She looks at the clock on the wall, the ticking sound of the second hand ringing keenly in her ears. The time is past 4 p.m. School got out a long time ago, and it's well past the time he would have gotten home, even if he stopped for groceries.
どうしたんだろう。先輩、遅いな。
She whispers dreamily, leaning against the wall. She moves slowly, feeling dizzy thanks to her fever. She's slightly surprised by her own voice. The clock ticking sounds so loud it grates on her ears, yet she can't hear her own voice very well. That simple noise alone keeps resonating in her earlobes. The steady tick-tock rhythm of the clock, and the badump in her heart straining to pump blood. The two sounds get to her head even if she covers her ears, making the dizziness worse.
おかしいな。風邪、本当に治ってるのに。
That's why she sent the caretaker home. Her temperature was normal when she measured it, and she managed to make lunch on her own. In the afternoon, she felt like her usual self again, and she looked forward to seeing the real master of the house come home. And yet, her whole body feels hot. The heat isn't coming from herself, but someplace else. Something between her blood vessels and overlapping muscles, in gaps that shouldn't be there. Something other than herself penetrates deep inside, running like a car engine. Her fever is so hot, so endless, so unlike anything she's ever experienced before that she can't help but visualize it as such. If you asked her whether she feels bizarre, whether it's uncomfortable, she'd say yes to both. She isn't the only one who feels suffocated. The things creeping between her blood vessels and nerves are having a hard time too. To use an example, They're like puppies trapped in a can full of ground meat, searching for an exit. They're the real cause of her fever. The puppies wriggling in her body, desperately trying to fulfill their function. She finds them adorable somehow and can't bring herself to hate the sensation.
時計の音大きい
She absently stares at the clock. It's now 4:30. Just a little longer. He's sure to be home in another 30 minutes. Before then, she needs to calm her body down and quiet the things running throughout her body.
大丈夫こんなの何度もあったんだから
Yes, she's used to these symptoms. She's experienced them many times since childhood, and she's been taught how to relieve them. That's why she thinks she can calm this down. But the fever doesn't recede, and the things in her move even faster.
やだなんかおかしいです先輩
Her body won't relax. Everything she's tried before doesn't work. What is she missing? What does she need? What changed? She desperately tries to figure it out, but the ticking is too distracting. She can't think straight.
この音
Finally, she realizes that it isn't the clock, but an alarm emitted by the house itself.
なんだ、エミヤはいないのか。そりゃ都合がいい。
Someone familiar appears before her, tracking dirt into the house.
おいおい、どうしたさくら。エミヤがいないと思ったら、こんなところに一人で。こりゃじいさんの言ってた通り、ライダーを使いすぎた反動かな。
The man enters the living room and walks up to the girl slumped against the wall. She can't put any strength into her muscles. She never had the energy to move to begin.
迎えに来たよさくら。おままごとの時間は終わりだ。
He looks down on her with a plastic smile.
ほら行こうか。エミヤと肩をつけるんだ。お前もあいつの顔が見たいだろうからさ。特等席で見せてやろうと思ってさ。
The man grabs her arm and drags her to her feet.
嫌です私
She tries to free her arm, but she doesn't have the strength to even do that. The man drags her along, putting on a pleasant front.
そう怒るなよさくら。妹は兄貴の言うことを素直に聞いておくもんだぞ。
やだ違う約束が違う兄さん先輩にはもう手出ししないって言ったのに
She protests tearfully. It doesn't sway him. It seems he's set on playing the caring brother, mouth drawn in a thin smile. Sobs spill out from her.
優しいだろ僕は。じいさんから預かったものもあるけど、できればそんなものは使いたくないんだ。
The man pulls the girl outside by the arm.
安心しろって。これも男同士の付き合いってやつさ。約束は守るし、用さえ済めばここに戻っても構わない。ただちょっとさ、こんな状態の妹を放っておく悪いやつにはお灸を据えないとね。
The man whispers in a delighted tone, close enough for his lips to touch the girl's ear. She closes her mouth. She knows better than anyone that her brother won't listen to anyone once he's made up his mind.
そうそう、さくらはいい子だな。それじゃあ一足先に行っていようか。ここで待つのも悪いし、どうせ遊ぶなら僕の作った陣地に招待しないと。ライダー、さくらを連れてくるんだ。
The girl looks up. She sees a servant with flowing hair long enough to touch the ground. Interlude out. I'm home! I announce myself as I enter the house. Suddenly, I'm overcome by a sense of discomfort.
エミヤ君 廊下。
It's clear what caught her attention. In the hallway are marks that look like footprints. Only Sakura's shoes are out in front. I didn't see the caretaker's shoes, so they must have gone home. Sakura? I go to the guest bedroom. Nobody's inside. Discomfort turns to dread. I go back to the living room. Sakura isn't here either. The tracks in the hallway end in the living room. Someone with dirty feet did something here and then went outside.
エミヤ君、そこの床見て。踏み込んだ跡がここまで。
I know. Sakura was in here. Yes, I know. Sakura was here in the living room, waiting for me to come home, and now she's gone. There are unfamiliar footprints in the hallway. That's all I know. It's strange that I haven't deduced the situation. The answer should be clear once I take some time to think. Calmly, calmly, calmly. If I calm down and think, I'll figure out what happened here. But why? Why won't my brain work at all?
ちょっとエミヤ君。
I should have come home earlier. I should have taken this more seriously. Didn't I take Sakura in because I was afraid this would happen? Soken said that Sakura had nothing to do with this. Why did I believe him? As long as Sakura's one of the Mato, there's no way she isn't related. So why? Why did I accept an explanation that was convenient for me without questioning it at all? The telephone rings. Tosaka keeps quiet. I nod at her and pick up the receiver.
もしもし、やっと帰ってきたの、エミヤ。
Shinji's the caller. There's no doubt about it, and I was expecting this anyway. What did you do to Sakura?
ああ、どうしたって？迎えに行ったんだよ。あいつは僕の妹なんだから、いつまでも他人の家には置いておけないよ。
Shinji.
いいね。カッカ来てるじゃんか、エミヤ。サクラを連れ戻されて悔しいってわけだ。
Tosaka leans in closer so she can hear what he's saying. I keep her at a distance with one hand and continue the call. Enough beating around the bush. Tell me what you want.
ああ、わかってるだろ。いい加減肩をつけようぜ、エミヤ。お前だってこの間の一件で済んだなんて思ってないよな。
No, we are. You ran away. There's nothing left to settle.
ついていない。あれはサーバントの差だ。お前の力じゃない。セーバーさえいなければ僕が逃げるなんてことはなかった。今だってセーバーさえ出てこなければ僕が負けるはずがない。
If Saber hadn't shown up? I see now. It sounds like Ryder hasn't told him that I lost Saber. Yeah, that's why he came to take her back by force. In other words, this phone call is just... Shinji, what are you going to do with her?
物騒なことを言うね。大事な妹にどうもしないさ。お前が一人で僕のところに迎えに来るならな。
I hold on to Tosaka. If she interrupts this conversation, it'll definitely go off the rails. You're telling me to fight you without Saber?
いいね。肝心のところで物分かりがいいから助かるよ。場所は学校だ。いいか、くれぐれも一人で来いよ。ここにはライダーが結界を張っているからね。セイバーを連れてくればすぐにわかる。もっとも、お前がサクラの前でそんな卑怯な真似をするとは思ってないけどね。
I hear snickering over the receiver. I'll be right there, so wait. One more question. Are you a master, or are you Sakura's big brother?
そいつは何の冗談だい。僕はマスターだし、いつでも頼れるサクラの兄貴さ。お前こそどうなんだい、エミヤ。お前はマスターか、それともただの臆病者か。
Fine. I'll fight you as a master, Shinji.
ああ、戦いになればの話だけどね。
I hang up the phone. Without skipping a beat, I turn on my heels and head straight for the front door.
待ちなさい。本当に一人で行く気なのあんた。
That's the plan. We can talk later.
後にしろって、それはこっちのセリフよ。シンジがさくらを連れて行ったのは目の前で自分の力を見せつけたいんでしょ。そのまま行けば殺されるわよ。今のシンジに自覚があるかはわからないけど、そんなの見せられたらさくらだってたまんないわ。ここは様子を見て作戦を立てるべきよ。
I know that, but I can't just sit still. His laughing still rings in my ears. Oh, so he wants to kill me in front of Sakura.
それはわからないけど、可能性は高いわね。エミヤくん大丈夫？あなた冷静そうに見えるけど、もしかして逆上してる？
Fly out the handle? She's asking me if all I can think of is running to school and punching Shinji in the face. In that case, yeah, I'm about to lose it. I can't think of anything else. I'm ticked at myself for not saying a darn thing this entire time just because they're siblings. He isn't Sakura's brother, and I let him take Sakura anyway. I'm going to take her back. Don't get involved, Tosaka. I go outside. The sky above is dark and the sun's starting to set. It's definitely going to rain tonight. I need to bring Sakura back with me before then.
待ちなさいってば。あなた一人じゃ助けられるやつも助けられないから、私と手を組むって言ったんじゃないの？
I stop. Her words are like a cool water on my boiling head. Sorry, but Sakura's still in danger. I know it's suicidal if I go in by myself, but I don't have a choice.
でしょうね。シンジがさくらを連れている以上、私も追いすると手は貸せない。けどエミヤくん、あなたが何とかしてシンジからさくらを取り返してくれたのなら、あとは私が何とかする。
Take her what? Shinji?
シンジじゃなくてライダーよ。サーバントの相手はサーバントがするものでしょ。私はできるだけ近くで身を隠しているから、とにかくさくらを助けてあげて。そしたら、たとえ1秒後に殺されるって状況でも、絶対にあなたを助けるから。
Tosaka says it like she's trying to convince herself. I know this is going to be a heavy burden on her. I'm asking your help with that in mind, and she's promising to honor our alliance. The reassurance warms my enraged heart. I can count on Tosaka. In exchange, I need to get Sakura out of there unharmed. All right, I'll let you back me up.
ええ。けどそれには、あなたがちゃんと無事で、きちんとさくらを守ってあげてるって条件付きよ。いくらアーチャーでも、ライダーの相手をしながらさくらを守る、なんてできない。自分の身と引き換えにさくらを助けても、そんなの全然意味がないんだから。
There's no sign of anyone on campus. School has been sending students home early ever since the mass coma spread. It's almost 6 p.m. There probably aren't even any teachers still on campus, let alone students. Do you know where Shinji is, Tosaka?
あいつの性格から言って校舎の中でしょ。高いところで、かつ馴染んだ場所に陣取ってるに決まってるわ。
Only one place fits those conditions. Shinji's in a classroom on the 3rd floor. I'm going on ahead. Come after me once you can.
ええ。10分経ったら私も正門をくぐるわ。まだ話してなかったけど、ここには結界が張られている。気配を隠したところで見つかっちゃうから、そうならないようにライダーとシンジの注意を引きつけて。
I nod once and start running. I feel hot iron enter my back. I've already activated my magic circuit. I tell my impatient self that my only weapon, strengthening, is protecting Sakura, not defeating my enemies. stop. On the third floor, I find a dark-clothed servant and Shinji with Sakura next to him. He's holding a knife, its tip pointed at Sakura. Darn you! I move on impulse. My legs start sprinting again. The dark servant, Ryder, blocks my path.
止まりなさい。それ以上前に出れば彼女の無事は保証できない。
I force myself to halt. My mouth hurts. I'm grinding my teeth together so hard they're squeaking. Shinji!
よう、思った通り飛んできたなエミヤ。お前のことだからさ、ああ言えば本当に一人で来ると思ったよ。
My mind goes white hot with rage, despite my attempts to suppress it. I feel so dizzy from anger, I almost can't see Ryder right in front of me. What's going on? Why is he doing this? I'm the one who Shinji hates, right? He didn't need to go to such lengths to call me out here. Sakura is Shinji's sister. A big brother should protect his sister. Close families should help each other and smile together. So why is he doing this? How can a big brother do this to his little sister's feelings? When I couldn't do anything to help? Are you serious, Shinji?
当然だろ。本気だからここで待っていたんじゃないか。この後に及んで何寝ぼけてんだよ、お前。
Gah! My body leans forward. I won't feel at ease until I run I won't feel at ease until I run in there right now and pull Sakura away from Shinji. But she's in the way. Ryder blocks my approach to Shinji, protecting him.
わからない人ですね。あなたは何をしに来たのです。この場に訪れたということはマスターの意に従うということ。戦う気があるのなら一人で来るべきではなかったでしょう。
Ryder's completely right. I need to keep a cool head. Since I'm following Shinji's directions, I need to focus only on saving Sakura, not beating Shinji. I take a deep breath and relax. Holding Sakura close, Shinji enjoys my apparent dismay. Sakura hangs her head, not looking up at me. I'm sure she isn't conscious, right? She's standing there on her own two legs. She's just looking down because she can't raise her head. Shinji, did you tell Sakura about the Holy Grail War? I glare at him without hiding my anger.
は？そうか。ああ、そういうことか。ああ、安心しろよエミヤ。お前が黙っているもんだからさ、ちゃんと1から10まで話してやったよ。僕たちがマスターで今まで殺し合いをしてきたってさ。隠しておきたかったのかい？バーカ、そんなのバレるに決まってるじゃんか。こいつさ、お前が何か隠してるって気づいてたらしいぜ。けど自分はただの後輩だから聞けなかっただとさ。
Sakura turns away, gritting her teeth so that she won't look up.
さあ、遠慮せずに聞けよさくら。今のエミヤは隠し事なんてできないぜ。ほら、念願叶ったりだろうが。
Sakura keeps her mouth shut. So she keeps staring at the floor because...
ん？何黙ってるんだよお前。いいから聞いてみろよ。エミヤがお前のことどう思ってるか、お前が薄汚い魔頭の女って知って嫌われたかどうか、ちゃんと自分の口で聞いてみたらどうだ？
Shinji! She looks like she's apologizing to me. I can't take this anymore. Enough! I'm here, like we promised. Now let Sakura go!
はあ？約束なんてしてないよ。したのは命令さ。一人で来ればさくらには何もしないって、そう言っただけじゃないか。そう睨むなよエミヤ。僕だって鬼じゃない。妹を取り返したいっていうお前の気持ちは嬉しいからね。 お前が誠意を見せるなら僕も答えるよ。ことが終わればさくらはこのまま連れて返してやってもいい。
Alright. Is that a promise?
ああ、お前が言う通りにするんならさくらは話す。これは約束だ。必ず守る。
Fine. So what are your demands? Do you want me to get on my knees?
そんなのいらないよ。男に頭を下げられて何が嬉しいって言うんだ。僕は戦うためにお前を呼び出したんだ。言っただろ。いい加減肩をつけようってさ。
Ryder takes a step forward. She isn't exhibiting hostility or bloodlust. She merely advances on her master's orders.
けどただやり合うのもつまらないだろ。僕は魔術師じゃないから不公平だし、ただの喧嘩じゃ僕が勝つのは分かりきってるしさ。だからここは公平を期してそいつの相手をしてもらうことにしたんだ。
You've gotta be kidding me! He wants me, a regular person, to go up against Ryder? He may as well ask me to kill myself!
何？命までは取らないさ。ライダーには手加減するように言ってある。ま、これからうろちょろされるのも目障りだから2、3本は折らせてもらうけど。
Ryder isn't armed with her daggers. Apparently she really is holding back.
簡単だろ。ただバカみたいに殴られてればいいんだ。ああ、けど簡単には倒れるなよ、エミヤ。僕が満足する前に気絶なんかしたらさくらは僕が連れて帰ることになるからね。
Ryder closes in. In just 3 seconds, I'll be within her reach. I'm not allowed to resist, but I can't go down easily either. You're contradicting yourself, Shinji. What do you want?
そんなの決まってるじゃないか。僕はさ、単にお前をぶちのめしたいだけなんだよ。
Then be a man and try and do it yourself. Ryder pounces. I raise my hands and brace for a beating. Instantly, a shocking impact pierces my right arm, threatening to tear off my shoulder. Gah! She targeted my arm, which was protecting my head. It's still attached. Nothing's dismembered yet. But it's completely paralyzed, and I can't feel a thing. I force myself back to my senses. Unarmed, I don't have a chance. I need to strengthen something and protect myself if I want to stay in one piece. The next attack will finish me if I can't at least turn my thin school uniform into iron, or at least harden my defenseless body. My left arm protecting my head dips. The sledgehammer-like strike smashes through my strength of clothes and nearly breaks my limb. Darn it! In the space of a single breath, she disabled both of my arms. No, I can still move them, but I can't feel anything. With reactions this sluggish, I can't use my arms to protect myself from Ryder anymore. If she goes for the face next, it'll be an instant knockout! Ryder is merciless. She raised down fists on me, following Shinji's orders. The mechanical way she does it makes her seem like a machine spinning its arms. With arms that can't move properly, I do my best to guard my face. Ryder's fists were never something I could predict and block anyway. I just need to focus on protecting my head so that I don't get knocked out. What is Ryder thinking, I wonder? She doesn't go for the numerous gaps in my defense. All she does is keep counting my arms and unprotected stomach. The agony's enough to make me think, but it isn't the same force that rendered my arms numb. That's weird. I saw how strong Ryder was at Ryudo Temple. She could have cut me in half if she wanted. Maybe she's just holding back like Shinji said. She might be avoiding my head to keep from knocking me out too early, but this still isn't like her. In fact, She's an order of magnitude weaker. The raw magical energy that servants give off is enough to make my skin crawl. At Rito Temple, Ryder was a formidable servant. But the Ryder attacking me now is the same Ryder who lost to Saber in the park. I don't know why that is, but this is my chance to turn the tables on Shinji. I stumble forward, like someone tired of beating on a sandbag. Ryder steps in and lays a heavy uppercut to my stomach. It's like a pile driver hollowing out my insides. That one really hurts. My not yet healed injuries from last night scream out in pain. The blow makes me vomit gastric juices and I go weak at the knees.
どうした？それで終わりかいエミヤ。さくらの前なんだからしっかりしろよ。そんなんじゃ全然格好つかないじゃないか。
I feel myself pitch forward. Ryder backs off slightly and watches me collapse. But I grab Ryder's arms and force myself to keep standing.
いいぞエミヤ。ゴキブリ並みのしぶとさだ。お前本当に面白いぜ。
That one really got me good. I'm dizzy and I didn't even get hit in the head.
ああ、けどまあ見せ物としちゃ三流だったな。このまま続けても同じことの繰り返しだ。そろそろ飽きてきたし、あとは豪快な KO シーンで締めくくろうか。
Same thing? You gotta be kidding me. Our positions are completely different now. Can't you even tell that our positions are reversed since I pulled myself up using Ryder's arms?
距離は5メートルほどです。我慢強いあなたの勝ちですね。
I look up. What did Ryder just say to me?
休憩は終わりだ。第2ラウンドだぜ、エミヤ。
Ryder shakes off my hands. The servant in the black dress resumes her robotic assault. I'm driven backwards. Each of Ryder's strikes avoids any vital points that would end the fight. I'm numb all over. Internal bleeding forms dark bruises where she hit me, and I can't even feel the pain anymore. It's because the pain lingering inside me is stronger than the external pain she's inflicting. Ryder is mercilessly destroying my body from within.
お覚悟を。
The servant utters emotionlessly and moves in. That's when I fully understand. This isn't what Shinji wants. She isn't avoiding aiming for my head, or at least leave me just barely mobile. Because Shinji ordered to.
いいぞ。もう手加減はなしだ。殺せライダー。
Ryder takes a step forward, her long hair dancing through the air. Then she hits me with a thrust to the chest unlike anything I experienced so far. Gah! I can't breathe. My feet leave the ground. I nearly black out from the punch, even though I saw it coming. Ryder sends me flying. As I sail through the air, I hear a muffled scream and a delighted guffaw. Sakura's voice is much closer now. I fall. Any other day, I would be dead as soon as I hit the floor. She wouldn't even need the impact. She wouldn't even need the impact of the fall to kill me. It's an attack that sent a whole human being flying. I'd expected to punch a gaping hole through my chest on impact. But I'm still alive. She went out of her way to time the punch so perfectly anyone could have jumped back at the same time. That attack wasn't meant to kill me. Ultimately, it was Ryder, not Shinji, who decided to avoid hitting me in the face and keep attacking me in a way that allowed me to keep moving. Here goes! I'm at a perfect distance. Just before I hit the ground, I twist my body in midair and grab the knife blade in front of me with my left hand. My left palm wraps around the blade. It's already numb, so the sensation of metal cutting flesh doesn't bother me. I bring my right arm around in a wild swing, paying no heed to my left hand being sliced open. I slug Shinji squarely in the face with my clenched right fist. Ah! I throw the knife aside. Trying not to look at my wound, I run to Sakura's side. Sakura! Sakura is sitting on the ground lifelessly, not looking up. She's avoiding talking to me. I don't know if that's because of Shinji, or if it's because I've been hiding things from her. All I know is that Sakura has had a fever ever since this morning. It's okay. We'll talk later. First we'll go home and then...
そこまでよ。勝負あったわね、シンジ。
A voice interrupts me. I heard Tosaka from behind. She must have arrived at some point. Ryder is crouched on the floor, wounded by Archer. Her clothes are soaked in blood. It doesn't look immediately fatal, but she probably can't fight anymore.
遠坂卑怯者。約束を破りやがったな、エミヤ。一人で来いって言ったのに。
I walked in alone.
そうね。けどあれは約束じゃなくて命令だったんでしょ。ならエミヤ君を卑怯者呼ばわりするのは筋違いだわ。
そんなのは詭弁だ。エミヤは一人で来るって言ったんだ。なら一人で来るのは当然じゃないか。
No, you insisted that I come alone.
いいけどね。確かに私とエミヤ君は一緒だったけど、何もエミヤ君が助けを求めたわけじゃないわ。ここに来たのは
嘘つけ。呼びもしないお前がどうしてくる。エミヤのやつバカ正直なふりして僕を騙したんだろうが。
ああ、それ？そんなの単純よ。あの電話の時ね、隣に私もいたの。マトウ君声大きいんだもの。エミヤ君が隠してても聞こえちゃった。満足いった？さくらが連れて行かれた以上、私がおとなしくしているわけないでしょ。あんたはエミヤ君をおびき寄せる代わりに完全に私を敵に回したってことよ。
なんだよ、お前もさくらかよ。さくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくらさくら、信じられない。お前もエミヤと同類かよ。よく見ろ、僕はマスターになったんだ。お前もマスターなら気にかけるのはさくらじゃなく僕だけだって決まってるんだよ。
そう。じゃあ自慢のサーバントに戦わせたら？アーチャーは腹を裂いただけよ。具現化の確たる心臓と首は壊していない。あなたが一人前のマスターなら今すぐにでもライダーを直してあげなさい。
この言わせておけば。
Shinji backs away from us and holds out a book. That's Shinji's command spell. The book that burned to ashes in the park. He still had another one?
立てライダー、マスターの命令だ。立ってアーチャーを倒せ。
She doesn't answer. Ryder stays where she is, unmoving. A crimson pool of blood grows at her feet. Right now, it's Ryder, not Shinji, who needs help. Ordering her to fight would only hasten her demise.
このお前は僕のサーバントだろう。なら死ぬまで戦えよ、間抜け。
Shinji clenches the book tightly. As if that's how he uses his command spell, Ryder's body starts convulsing, trying to stand up. Stop it! That's enough, Shinji! Just give up! Ryder won't last if you keep pushing her!
こいつらが簡単にくたばる玉か。さあ、さくらを返してもらうぞ。
Shinji doesn't rescind his order. Gah! I let go of Sakura's hand and start to run at Shinji again. But when I do...
それ以上は
Sakura? I stop and turn to face her. Sakura cries out in anguish. And Shinji's book bursts into flame, just like it did that night. What? Gusts of wind howl through the corridor. They come from Ryder, who should have been sprawled out on the ground, and Sakura.
嘘これがライダー
On edge, Tosuka and Archer watch their newly arisen foe. Ryder is completely healed. The pressure emanating from her is exactly the same as what I witnessed at Ryudo Temple. Suddenly, she vanishes into thin air. Ryder instantly vanishes from my field of view.
変脈伏せて
I duck in response to the warning and see long hair streak overhead. Sakura! In an instant, Ryder leaps away with Sakura in her arms. She lands opposite me and Tosuka, slightly forward of where Shinji is standing.
なんだよお前僕の命令は戦えって。
いいえ、そのような命令はありません。私はサーバントとして主の身を守っただけです。
Plot twist! Ryder lets Sakura down and glances at Shinji. Despite the leather blindfold covering her eyes, her gaze is ice cold.
バカ言うな。お前の主は僕だ。僕を守らないで何を勝手に。
シンジ、コマンドスペルはマスターの体に現れるもの。私はその身に成功を持たないものを
But it has
マスターと認めたことは一度もありません。
but it also has the potential to be stone cold.
だと
あなたは偽物です。疑心の書が失われた以上あなたには付き合えない。
So would Gilgamesh, so if Gilgamesh saw this, would he call him a mongrel and a faker? Then, Ryder turns her back on Shinji. The gesture declares that she will never look at him again.
そういうことだったのねライダー。
推測通りです、アーチャーのマスター。ですがあなたならとうに気づいていたのではないですか。
ええ、おかしいとは思ってたわ。魔党の人間からマスターが出るはずはない。魔党の血はもう廃れてしまって魔術を扱える人間は輩出されないから。だから魔党の人間であるシンジは絶対にマスターにはなれないはずだった。なのにライダーは召喚され魔党の人間がマスターに選ばれた。そうね、私は魔党造剣があなたを召喚してシンジに預けているのかと思ってたけど、話はもっと簡単なのよ。造剣は手を下すまでもない。だって今の魔党家において最もマスターにふさわしい人間は
Tosuka isn't looking at Ryder. Her eyes are directed at
魔党の正当な後継者、今代の魔術師であるあなただものね、さくら。
I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. None other than Sakura. Huh? I can't form any coherent words. Tosuka and Sakura. I look back and forth between them both. unable to process anything more than what I just heard. My left hand hurts. Finally, my mind slows down enough to realize that I'm holding a knife in my left hand by the blade. He's been holding on to that the entire time? Oh, I really am slow. Even after hearing Tosaka's words and seeing the command spells on Sakura's right hand, I don't even feel surprised. All I can think is, why? Why is this happening? Sakura seems to shrink away, still not raising her face. Her body language seems to apologize to me for not telling me sooner. Transferring command spells in order to obey Shinji Mato. That's how Ryder became Shinji's servant, while Sakura temporarily gave up her authority as a master and went back to being a mere mage. When Tosaka looked at Sakura's hand, she had already transferred her command spell to Shinji. Sakura bites her lip. Your response?
くそ、もう一度ださくら。もう一度僕に支配権を譲るんだ。
Shinji runs to her, begging.
おい、何黙ってんだよ。お前は戦う気はないんだろ。マスターになるのは嫌だって散々言ったから、僕が代わりに引き受けてやったんじゃないか。それを今さら何言いこぶってんだよお前は。
I don't think she feels like a good girl right now. It's like he's tearing off the mask of being her brother. His fury pours out like through a broken dam. There's no need to stop it anymore.
ライダー、お前僕に逆らうのか。
Well, it's not like she has any obligation to obey you at this point.
あなたは私のマスターではありません、シンジ。たとえ兄でもさくらに手を挙げようとするのなら排除されるだけの存在です。
Ryder lets go of Shinji, who has been clinging to her arm. He staggers backward.
そうかよ。後悔するぞライダー。お前が何と言おうとさくらが本を作れば元通りだ。お前が僕のサーバントに戻った時どうなるか分かって。
無駄よシンジ。他人に、しかも魔術師でもない人間にサーバントを預けることは不可能に近いわ。それを可能にしていたのがコマンドスペルによる譲渡だった。
分かってるじゃないか。レイジはあと一つあるんだ。さくらは僕の言うことなら聞く。それで
だからもう終わりなのよ。さくらの刻印はあと一つしかない。それを使ってしまったらライダーを止める手段がなくなってしまう。
Pretty sure Ryder would still protect Sakura as long as she had mana. As long as Ryder had the mana to stay materialized, but that's neither here nor there.
そうなったライダーは自由よ。レイジで作った偽物の命令権なんかじゃサーバントは縛れない。ライダーに命令したところでさっきみたいに本が燃えておしまいよ。
No, I said that Ryder would protect Sakura, not Shinji.
それじゃあ僕は。
ええ、あなたがマスターになるチャンスはなくなったわ。いえ、借り物のレイジでライダーを操っていたあなたは初めからマスターなんかじゃなかったのよ。
The crack spread throughout. With a virtually palpable crack, Shinji Mato's very existence crumbles to dust.
そうか。初めから無理だったのか。そうだよな。僕には魔術の才能はない。ジジイからは失敗作扱いされて妹には同情される始末だった。そうだよ。当然だ。分かってた。分かってた。分かってた。分かってた。分かってた。こんなの初めから務まりっこないって分かってたさ。いいさ。気にするなよさくら。こんなのは遊びだ。僕に才能がないってことは分かってた。 マトウの後継ぎはお前だもんな。僕がしゃしゃり出ることはなかったんだ。
兄さん。
ああ、分かってる。分かってるさ。だからさくら、この続きはお前がやるんだ。僕の代わりにこいつらと戦えってことさ。いいかさくら、エミヤも遠坂も敵だ。お前がマトウの後継者なら今何をするべきか分かっているだろう。
Hey, don't rope me into your family drama.
シンジ、あんたここまで言ってもわからないの？さくらは戦わないし、あんたにもう目はない。ライダーがいない以上、私たちもあんたには手を出さない。あとはおとなしく聖杯戦争が終わるまで隠れてなさい。
お前には聞いてない。さあさくら、言うことを聞いてくれよ。可愛い僕の妹だろ。
She doesn't answer. Sakura clutches one arm to herself and turns away from Shinji.
もうやめましょう、兄さん。
And firmly rejects him.
さくら、お前今なんて言った？
嫌です。兄さんは約束を破りました。先輩は殺さないって言ったのに、その約束を破ったんです。だからもう。
Sakura doesn't look at him. Shinji stares blankly at her, then laughs. In that second, I felt an awful chill.
ならお前の好きなようにしてやるよ。
There's a sound of glass breaking near Sakura. Sakura collapses. She drops to the ground, the strength gone from her legs.
じゃあなさくら、恨むなら僕じゃなくジジイを恨んでくれ。何？どうせいつかはそうなるんなら今楽になった方が幸せかもよ。
Shinji runs off. Shinji runs off like a coward. That usually means something bad's about to happen. She clutches her hand to her chest painfully. The earring she was wearing broke, and some liquid drug splashed on her. Sakura trembles on her knees. She shudders violently. She shudders violently, like a building being shaken by an earthquake, looking like she might fall apart any second. Sakura! I don't know what's happening. I just try to run to her side.
この状況がわからんのか貴様。
I stop. At some point, Archer got behind me. He grabs my shoulder.
ここから離れろ。下手に糧を与えては戻せなくなる。
He pushes me back and says something odd. Feed it? What are you talking? My question is answered before I can finish it. The hallway is dyed red. The haze hanging over us becomes a mist that wets my skin, covering the walls in what looks like a honey-like sweat. My skin burns. This air, this red world is a realm made of magecraft. Without a doubt, it's some unknown bounded field that will melt everyone in it. Tosaka, this... I can't breathe. Or rather, when I try, the mist enters my throat and burns me from the inside.
シンジが学校に仕掛けてた結界ね。もっともシンジからさくらにマスターが変わって威力が段違いになってるけど。
What? I look back. At the end of the dark red passage is Sakura on the ground, looking like she's trying to pry something from her chest. And Ryder facing us as if to protect Sakura.
そこをどけライダー。お前の主は暴走している。他人の味を知る前に止めねば癖になるぞ。
お断りします。 私の役目はマスターの守護です。あなたがさくらを。
ほう、みすみす主を死なせるのか。お前のマスターは著しく魔力を消費していってる。放っておけ。
いいえ、失う魔力より多くの魔力を摂取すれば、幸いここには魔術師が2人いる。シンジは逃がしましたが、彼らはもう逃げられない。さくらが
主が変わったところで少年は変わらんか。他人の命より自分が可愛いと見える。
それはあなたもでしょう。私のマスターより自身のマスターを守ろうとしている。
なるほど。ではお互い気兼ねをする必要はないわけだ。
Archer charges. Not heeding the stomach-like bounded field, the Red Knight runs at Sakura and clashes with Ryder. Wait, Tosaka, are you sure about this? He's fighting Ryder right now!
そりゃ戦うしかないでしょう。このままだと私もあなたも持たないもの。それに同じ魔術師としてさくらが下道に落ちるのは何としても止めないと。
Well then, what's that? Is she talking about the association's laws against abusing Magecraft? Or Sakura dying because her magic circuits are out of control? Wait, what do you mean? Why is Sakura...
だから暴走してるのよ、あの子。この結界はライダーが作ったものだけど、動かしているのはさくらってこと。シンジが何をしたかは知らないけど、今のさくらは見境なしよ。きっとさくらも私たちと一緒なんでしょうね。ただ苦しいから酸素が欲しくて他人の酸素を吸いたがってる。そんなの冬木の管理者として放っておけない。
What happened? What are you going to do to her?
それはあーちゃんに聞いて。私にはああなった魔術師を止める方法は一つしかない。けどあーちゃんならまあどちらにせよその前にライダーを何とかしないとね。見たところあーちゃんの方が強いんだけど、あーちゃんのやつなんか出力が落ちてるみたい。
His output is dropping? I return my attention to the door. Even I can tell that Archer is overwhelming her. Archer was always the strongest servant, so I'd never expect Ryder to put pressure on him. And yet, that impression lasts only for a second. Ryder's weapon is her agility. So a defensive battle like the one she's fighting now shouldn't be her forte. Ryder's greatest strength is her blindingly fast assault, so she isn't suited to defense. It's odd that Archer hasn't already beaten her and reached Sakura. Could the fact that this hasn't happened yet mean that Archer's the one on the defensive? Archer's swords slice up the air. Ryder's hair whips to and fro as she evades his swords, simultaneously stepping in to cut Archer. But she isn't the only one who's mastered simultaneous evasion and offense. Archer's right-hand sword parries her dagger, pushing Ryder back. One step gained, another step lost. Their offense and defense are roughly even. The clash of blades continues to echo through the building, with neither fighter able to gain an advantage. Archer's the one getting desperate, though. His energy is steadily getting drained by the bounded field while he fails to defeat a weaker opponent. On top of that, Tosaka and I are at our breaking point. Breathing is hard enough, and I feel my consciousness slipping away the longer I stay in this hallway. At this rate, we're going to collapse before Archer can beat Ryder. Archer clicks his tongue scornfully. Then, Ryder stops.
あなたの力は分かった。残念ですが、今のあなたでは私を倒せない。
Ryder declares almost regretfully.
あなたでは勝てないと言ったのです。あなたは宝具を使わない。あなたのマスターが使用を禁じているのか、あなた自身が桜を気遣っているのかは知りません。ただ、使わない以上はここで終わりです。 あなたは私には勝てないでしょう。
Ryder stops her feet, her only weapon, and faces Archer. She looks so defenseless, like Archer could finish this match with a single slash.
お前の主を気遣ったつもりはない。単に使う必要がないだけだ。お前とて宝具は使えまい。先ほどまで麻藤真司がマスターだったお前では宝具を使うだけの魔力が溜まっていないからな。
そうですね。真司という主では私に魔力を与えられなかった。
そういうことだ。使わぬ相手に対して魔力を消費することもない。次でお前を切り。
ええ。ではそういうことにしておきましょう。私としてもその方が気兼ねなく手を下せる。
Ryder's tone is serene throughout the exchange. What is she planning? She faces Archer without even taking up a stance with her daggers. I notice a slight movement behind her.
さくら、あなたはそこで耐えていてください。
やめて、もうやめて、ライダー。私こんなことがしたくてあなたを呼んだんじゃない。
Wait, so you had a choice in the matter?
その命令は聞けません。私は何よりあなたの命を優先する。
Ryder raises her arm. She's 4 meters from Archer. Maintaining that distance, the servant raises a hand to her face.
これはあなたが望んだことでしょう、さくら。
She undoes her black restraint. That looked more like purple to me. Suddenly, everything freezes. Okay, so she's bringing out the mystic eyes of Ryder's eyes. They're inhuman. Even among the rare mystic eyes, they're orbits of the highest order. Ashen eyes. Her eyeballs are so different they could be mistaken for crystals. Lightless corneas. Rectangular pupils connecting to the outside world. Her irises freeze, not allowing her eyes to close. Hundreds of millions of retinal cells conveying optical information are made of ether, the sixth imaginary factor. That's a better screenshot. Is it a work of art crafted by the gods' affection, or an inborn trait marked by their divine ire? Are we finally getting that true name drop? Ryder's gray eyes are an incomparable aberration, and yet terribly beautiful. Archer stiffens. Is it because he faced her eyes head-on at that short distance? He tries to close his eyes, but his eyelids have already hardened, and he can't move his arms to cover his face. He could try to advance and kill Ryder, but his legs have already petrified up to his thighs.
嘘、石化の魔眼。
Say her name! Tosaka almost screams in shock. She's next to me, and I don't know what face she's making. My own eyes are drawn in by Ryder's mystic eyes, and I can't look away. My blood congeals. My bodily fluids solidify, and I lose sensation. Mystic eyes. They are single-action magecraft possessed by some mages. Eyes, organs that normally function as receptors of information from the outside world, are transformed to enact an effect from oneself to the outside world. In short, they're items that forcibly cast magecraft on whatever is in their field of vision, and the effects are amplified if the target makes eye contact with the mystic eyes. That peculiarity makes them feared as things one must never look directly at, since that very act will trap oneself in the user's magecraft. Because of their concealability and power, mystic eyes are viewed among mages as proof of a first-rate practitioner. The technique needed to remake one's eyes into magic circuits are worthy of a magic crest. Of course, artificial mystic eyes are limited to charm and whisper effects. Powerful mystic eye bearers are limited to those born with their eyes. Binding, compulsion, contract, burning, illusion, misfortune, death perception. Mystic eyes with such power to interfere with others' destinies are termed noble colors, and petrification is one of the highest orders among them. There are no modern mages who possess such eyes. Few mages can even perform petrification with magecraft. Imagine how monumental it is then to be able to petrify things by simply seeing them. Breaker Gorgon, Seth Seal, Dark Temple. Say her name! It takes godly power to seal a divine curse. These are demonic eyes, possessed only by demonic beasts and holy spirits from the age of gods. A magecraft-based noble phantasm that is the only one that is one and only Let me try that again. A magecraft-based noble phantasm that is the one and only signature of heroic spirits Medusa. A magecraft-based noble phantasm that is the one and only signature of the heroic spirit Medusa, who could turn anyone she saw to stone. They said the name! I finally said the name!
Leave! 離れろ！本命が来る！
I wish the second heavens failed me if he said her name. I don't know why they skipped over this. Petrified up to his hips, Archer shouts a warning. Across from him, behind Ryder with her unleashed mystic eyes, some dark red wave begins to spread.
そんなこと言われても。
Tosaka moves sluggishly. Something bad flows down the hallway toward us. The wave narrows like a spear and makes a beeline for Tosaka. She's going to die. Tosaka can't take a single step. Maybe she's been enchanted by the mystic eyes even worse than I am. That spear is going to pierce through her chest and she can't do a thing about it. Her fate a few seconds from now flashes before my eyes, so... I save. Or I would save. But I need to do some deletion. Pull Tosaka back. There's no time to think. My legs move and my arms still work. I just need to move up and pull Tosaka back. Tosaka! Tosaka doesn't even twitch when I grab her arm. She's heavier than she looks. Dang, you're heavy! I can't budge her even with two hands. So all I can do... Come on, just get back! Shoulder tackle her out of the way. Ow! I hear a dull impact.
何してんのよあんたは。
I can't hear Tosaka's voice. My body is hot. My vision gets all soft and twisty like I've caught a serious fever. I think I hear a familiar voice, far away. I'm losing my grip on reality. In my white, hazy mind, the blood coming from my left arm mixes like paint on a canvas. With her hands clenched at her chest, Sakura stares in shock at me on the ground. I see her fall like a puppet with its strings cut.
気分少しは落ち着いた？
Sitting on one of the church pews, I nod
そ
wordlessly.
う。なら治療の必要はないわね。あとは体力と一緒に回復するだろうから、おとなしくしていなさい。
Tosuka takes a seat in a slight distance from me. But our emotional distance is many times wider. We're just waiting in the chapel for Kotomine, not making small talk. When I try to clench my left hand, it twitches numbly. The pain feels like a nail was driven through my palm. My left hand hurt more from gripping the knife than the dull pain of Ryder's beating or Sakura stabbing me through the left arm. Dark clouds obscure the night sky. They seem like rain clouds announcing an imminent shower. The spear-like thing that attacked Tosuka was apparently Sakura's magecraft. The Matos passed down absorption magecraft to their family. Sakura unconsciously unleashed her magecraft because she was suffering from magical energy deficiency. She targeted Tosuka because she had the most magical energy there. When I pushed Tosuka out of the way and that thing touched me, it caught my left arm and drained me dry of my power. Magical energy is life energy. It stands to reason that one would collapse if it was taken away. Already exhausted from fighting Ryder, I fainted right away, and then Tosuka brought us to the church. She says that Sakura lost consciousness at the same time I
あ
did.
の子、自分に攻撃したのよ。
Tosuka murmurs, explaining that Sakura is being treated in the back of the church. Sakura seems to be in serious condition. She collapsed after being exposed to the liquid that splashed on her from the earrings. Kotomine is cleansing her of it as Kotomine is cleansing her of it while we wait. Tosuka doesn't speak. Archer isn't present, and Ryder is gone too. It's just Tosuka and I in the church, waiting for Kotomine. I think I'll go ahead and save it here for tonight. Oh, yeah. You gotta clean that up. So, delete this one. And save. Alright, and we'll call it there for tonight. So, I hope you're enjoying this. Let me know what you think so far, and have a good night.